Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And in today's video, as you guys know, they did take out the legacy aim assist, and in this video I want to be talking about why that could actually be a good thing for most controller players, because obviously most people would think that's a very bad idea, but honestly it could be a very good thing for a lot of controller players, and I'm going to explain that in this video. And real quick, before we get into the video, I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks every single week. So if you guys want to win some free V-Bucks, and if you guys want a chance to enter, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And lastly, comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And also, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom, click on support a creator, type in my code. My creator code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about the removal of L2 aim assist, because I did make a video, I would say about a week ago, explaining, I guess, my true thoughts and opinions on it. But to be honest with you guys, when I was really looking at all the changes that they had, I was really looking at the aim assist, the linear and exponential aim assist. To be honest with you guys, I think this could really actually be a huge advantage for controller players. So for right now, I do play on linear settings. I tried out exponential, and honestly, I don't know, I might end up switching, who knows. I really did like how the exponential settings felt. As far as the tracking, it felt a lot stronger. The hip fire definitely did feel a little bit stronger, as far as probably just because of the way the aim assist is, it just feels a little bit slower, meaning that you can be a lot more accurate with it when you are hip firing the other player. But I do play on linear right now. I do feel like that's like the best overall settings. But as far as the differences between, I guess, the legacy and I guess the new aim assist is by far much better at close range. You guys probably already know that. And of course, the legacy settings, the L2 spam, I guess they removed from the game, is a lot better at mid to long range, and I guess close range if you're aiming down your sights. So those are kind of the advantages of each of the aim assist. So when it comes to linear, or I guess the removal of L2 and just the way the game is now as far as the meta, it's actually much better to play on linears. Even if legacy was in the game, it would be much better to play on linear or exponential settings just because of the way the game feels right now. And so just give you guys an easy example to understand. The first thing is they did take out traps out of the game, meaning that I guess the P-bot players that you go against in the game, they're not able to just spam their traps, 15 traps every single wall within like a matter of 5 seconds, meaning that as a controller player, you could be in someone's box for a lot more time, and playing on linear settings with an increased advantage to hip fire accuracy will actually give you a pretty big advantage against the other player, because your aim assist is going to be the strongest at that point. So if you're in a box fight, close range against another player, you're going to be a lot more accurate than before if you were to play on legacy settings. So that can actually be a very good thing for a lot of players who are maybe just switching. When you are in box fights against other players, as you saw right here, I was a lot more accurate. I was able to finish out the player much quicker, and overall just be a lot more efficient at the gunfight at close range. And also another example with the meta is just going to be you have the drum gun, you have the mythic scar, you have all the mythic guns in the game. Mainly the best ones to use close range could be the scar and or the drum gun, and as you can see, I'm just ripping players left and right with these weapons. So they're very strong and very good at close range, which also benefits players who use linear or exponential settings as opposed to legacy settings either way. And because of the two things that I previously mentioned, a third one would be building and editing is going to be more important than ever, because with close range fights and box fights, or even just build fights, you really need to be very efficient and very good when it comes to building and editing. So playing on linear exponential settings really is better for building and editing. For a lot of players, it might be a little bit weird at first, but as far as you look at the best people who are the best builders in the game as far as controller players, they all play on linear settings or even exponential. Most people do play on linear settings as far as like the creative builders, but you guys get my point. As far as I guess the new aim assist to the old aim assist, the legacy settings, most players who are very good at building and editing will be playing on linear settings, because in my opinion, it is a lot smoother, it is a lot better to use. So with those three advantages, you guys can really see how it is, even if they didn't take out the legacy settings, it is much better and much more efficient based on the way the game is played now. Of course, everything could change, the meta could change, and it might be a little bit better to play on legacy settings if that were to still be in the game. But based on the way the game is right here in Season 2, Chapter 2 of Fortnite, I really do and highly recommend playing on either linear or exponential settings either way. But I guess nowadays you really don't have a choice because you're going to be removing the legacy aim assist. But I wanted to give you guys my full opinion because I really do feel like when it comes to the way the game is played now, I think that controller players should without a doubt be playing on linear or exponential settings either way. And even in a lot of competitive settings now in arena or even in a lot more competitive settings, you see a lot of players who used to play on legacy settings for controller now switch over to exponential and still be able to dominate in these tournaments. They're still able to play very, very good, get a lot of kills, and actually be very, very successful and even win a lot of these competitive playlists. So a lot of people who are switching from legacy to exponential really aren't hurt too badly by the changes. Of course, it is a little bit weird and they have to get used to it, and the muscle memory has to come in, but a lot of players really aren't, or a lot of controller players really aren't losing, I guess, because a lot of people thought that controller players are nothing without their L2 spam, but a matter of fact, a lot of players are able, at least most controller players who are switching over to legacy or exponential, them removing it really did do them a service just because of the way the game is played now based on the current meta. Just having linear or exponential settings really is going to give you a boost at that close range. It's going to give you a boost at building and editing, and it's also going to be giving you a boost as far as the weapons that are in the game. So I guess that kind of ties into the close range, but as far as the mythic guns, being able to rush other players, you're going to have a way more successful time and a bigger advantage possible, even if you really don't know about these advantages, even if you are just forced to switch over and really don't have no idea how the aim assist works. You guys will quickly find out that a lot of PC players were complaining about the L2 spam across the map, and that was really bothering them. But trust me, they just don't understand what it's like to have a linear controller player W King in their box with either an SMG, a mythic scar, or a mythic drum gun. They just have no idea. And I also guarantee you within the next few weeks, PC players are still going to be complaining about the aim assist, just because, like I mentioned like 1,000 times, that the way the game is played now, it is in fact better to play on linear or exponential settings than on legacy settings if you previously did. Now, this really can be a struggle for people who are really, really casual players who may pick up the game 2 or 3 times a week, maybe a little Timmy whose parents don't let him play during the week. Well, I guess now, since pretty much all schools across America, I think they're all canceled. I think they are because of the national emergency. I know this is kind of completely off topic, but a lot of people are probably playing the game a little bit more. But as far as the really, really casual players who maybe don't play this game all the time, it can be a little bit weird and kind of annoying to switch aim assist. You have to completely switch the movement, because trust me, going from even if it's from exponential to linear or linear to legacy, I guess in between all the settings, everything feels really, really different, and it will take a little bit of time, a little bit of muscle memory to get down, to be able to hit your shots again and just get a feel for the game. So for the really, really casual players, I can see how this can be kind of annoying, but for those of you guys who play or give it a little bit of time, I guarantee you're going to see yourself improve, and you're going to see yourself being a lot more successful and winning a lot more games with the exponential and linear settings. If you did play on legacy settings, trust me, it is going to be a lot better, and this actually, I think, is a good thing for a lot of controller players. People saw it as a bad thing they're taking out L2, but I think it is good for the most part. The only downside that I've seen is the one I just mentioned, where you have a lot of people who are casual players who, in fact, just really want to pick up the game and play. They don't feel like learning a whole new aim assist, but the way it feels, it really isn't too crazy, especially if you go from like legacy to exponential. It really isn't as drastic as to linear, but it will take just a little bit of time to get down and understand how the movement works. But that's just my opinion on why I think that they took out L2 spam, and it actually kind of benefit controller players, at least for now. Like I said, the meta could change, and the meta changes pretty much every season. The past little while, it hasn't really changed too much, but as far as the way the game is played now, it really is a big advantage for controller players to in fact be on linear or exponential settings. To be honest, as far as the best settings, it really is personal preference. I like linear because I like to just rush all out, but I know a lot of competitive players do like to play on exponential settings, and there is a few casual players who do like to play on exponential as well. And so I do have settings videos on both linear and exponential, the best settings to use for both. So if you guys are looking for some good settings, definitely check those videos out. I probably will have my linear one at the end screen. So, but anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys liked, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.